Sony's Bungie game unit cut staff following delayed titles. Resident Evil Village now available on iPhone 15 Pro and M1/M2 iPads. PS5 is reportedly closing in on a 90% market share in France compared to Xbox.
Russia's Shoigu accuses West of seeking to expand Ukraine war to Asia-Pacific and China Forum, and Russia finally ready for Ukraine peace talks. Dutch F-16s for Ukraine to arrive in Romania within 2 weeks, announces Dutch PM Rutte.
SEC charges Hex founder Richard Hart with misappropriating millions of dollars of investor funds from unregistered crypto asset securities offerings that raised more than $1 billion. Andreessen Horowitz planning to target $3.4 billion for next early-stage funds, said in a report. SEC charges SolarWinds and Chief Information Security Officer with fraud, internal control failures. Complaint alleges software company misled investors about its cybersecurity practices and known risks.
YouTube has around 1.5 million NFL Sunday Ticket subscribers, will lose over $1.2 billion this season, reported by Morgan Stanley. Suspended pro golfer talks about $116 in bets that got him in trouble, and warns others of career-altering mistakes 4 days ago. Korn Ferry Tour suspended 2 players for betting on PGA Tour. It follows sequel revealed, as Micah Monroe reunite with director David Robert Mitchell, for the movie They Follow. AMC picks up Captain Nemo Origin series Nautilus from Disney, plans to air show in 2024. Vanessa Kirby and Sydney Sweeney join Jude Law, Ana de Armas and Daniel Bruhl in Ron Howard's renamed survival thriller, Eden ahead of November shoot. Taylor Swift's re-recordings have caused labels to change contracts. Indigenous Women's Collective calls for Buffy St. Marie's 2018 Juno to be rescinded, after CBC investigation. Daryl Hall's Live from Daryl's House show returns after 5-year hiatus. Korean rapper Ravi sentenced to 2 years in prison for military service evasion.
Constantine 2 gets promising update from director, wants to make a real rated R version. Now You See Me 3 is finally greenlit as major cast members return. Sicario 3 in the works with original cast, Taylor Sheridan and Christopher McQuarrie said to be involved. Telegram blocks the channel, which has been blamed for inspiring anti-Israel riot at Russian airport. France seeks deportation of 39 Russian nationals over radical Islamist views, says French Interior Minister. Holocaust education to be mandatory for British Columbia high school students, announced Premier EB.
Japan's Kindai University succeeds in complete farming of eels. Biodegradable plastic still damaging to fish, declares Otago study. Former Spanish Football Federation chief, Luis Rubiales given 3-year ban by FIFA. Peruvian racewalker Kimberly Garcia has world record taken away after course was measured incorrectly. IHA making neck guards, protectors mandatory following death. Adam Johnson's death under police investigation in England.
Germany's Scholz says his country willing to invest in Nigerian gas, minerals. UN reports, record 6.9 million internally displaced in Democratic Republic of Congo. EU aims to double Western Balkans' economy in the next decade. France arrests Russian tycoon Kuzmichev in tax sanctions probe. Inter Miami calls off trip to China to play friendlies. Lionel Messi wins record extending 8th Ballon d'Or. Bonmati takes women's award. Magic Johnson becomes the 4th athlete billionaire, according to Forbes. Save the Children says, Gaza's 3,195 children death in 3 weeks, surpasses annual number of children killed in conflict zones since 2019. Pentagon says there are no limits on how Israel uses U.S. weapons as death toll climbs amid airstrikes in Gaza. Netanyahu lobbied EU to pressure Egypt into accepting Gaza refugees. 1 in 4 U.S. medical students consider quitting, most don't plan to treat patients, as per report. Belgium seizes fake weight loss drugs containing insulin. Blackstone enters Indian healthcare services with care hospitals buy.
Extreme heat could lead to 233% increase in U.S. excess cardiovascular deaths, study says. Bush Institute warns GOP that ending critical HIV program could cost millions of lives. Ontario lowering age for regular breast cancer screenings to 40. Artists lose first round of copyright infringement case against AI art generators. 10 months ago, AI art tools, the Stable Diffusion and Midjourney, had been targeted with copyright lawsuit. The Army Corps of Engineers has a 2024 calendar of giant cats in infrastructure. Sesame Street is getting reimagined, For Season 56. Meta given 30 days to cease using the name Threads, by company that trademarked it 11 years ago. Google CEO acknowledges importance of being default search engine, in U.S. trial. Adher data of 815 million on sale on the dark web, says report.
Excess fluoride, linked to cognitive impairment in children. Half of childhood leukemia deaths in Brazilian Amazon, linked to soy production. Antibiotics for common childhood infections, are no longer effective.
Crypto billionaire funds $500 million NVIDIA chip purchase, for AI clouds. G7 leaders agree, on guiding principles and code of conduct, on artificial intelligence. Biden issues U.S. first AI executive order, requiring safety assessments, civil rights guidance, research on labor market impact. Canada bans apps of WeChat, Kaspersky on government devices. In India, Apple warns opposition MPs about state-sponsored attacks on their iPhones. Venezuela primary results suspended in latest law directed at opposition. Treasury to borrow $776 billion in the final 3 months of 2023. U.S. colleges face credit risk due to their private equity exposure. Roughly 3/4 of millennials and Gen Z report suffering from financial trauma. The Wall Street Journal reports as, strip malls are the new king of retail real estate. Qantas can't guarantee flights, the airline says as it launches defense in ACCC, Australian Competition and Consumer Commission the ghost flights case.
Huawei phones are saying that the Google app is a virus. Porsche will offer Google services for navigation, speech, and app ecosystem in future vehicle generations. Most Spaniards don't want digital euro, 65% would not use it, claimed by a report of Bank of Spain. China's Huawei sells 1.6 million Mate 60 Pro handsets in 6 weeks, claims research firm. With deadline looming, Broadcom tries to push $61 billion VMware deal over finish line. Google Tensor G4 reportedly uses an updated Samsung 4nm process.
U.S. military bulk buying Japan's seafood to counter China import ban. Xinjiang defies Western sanctions as foreign trade hits record high, surges by 47%. China's Shenzhou 16 astronauts land safely after 5 months aboard Tiangong space station. UAW reaches deal with GM, ending strike against Detroit automakers. Thousands of U.S. pharmacy workers mount 3 days wildcat strike. Chevrolet drops Equinox EV standard pack, price now starts at $34,995. 2024 Ford F-150 Lightning starts slightly higher at $52,090.
Air conditioning the rivers and streams could save overheated fish. UN chief warns Nepal's mountains have lost 1/3 of their ice. Pesticide-resistant bed bugs are in majority of Seoul's 25 districts. Rishi Sunak holding emergency Cobra meeting as fears grow of Hamas terror in UK. Hizbut Tahrir could be banned, Met Police chief suggests after Islamic group's UK head is revealed as NHS-GP. In the UK, foreign worker visas set to double in 5 years, Home Office forecasts show.
Welsh government plans to redefine women to include transgender females. Kansas can't enforce new law on abortion pills or make patients wait 24 hours, judge rules. Macron opposes gender-neutral writing as he opens language museum to protect the French language. She says, China's women must start new trend of family.
Marjorie Taylor Greene implies she thinks she's being spied on via her TV. Boris Johnson asked, why we're destroying the economy for people who will die anyway. The COVID inquiry hears. General Cienfuegos blames the DEA for his arrest. It was an offense to the armed forces and an attack on Mexico. In 2020, Mexican former defense minister plead in drugs case, straining U.S. ties.
Pentagon awards $1.3 billion in contracts to Northrop Grumman and York for 100 satellites. Turkey's Roketsan wins Malaysian deal for Karaok anti-tank missiles. China and Russia cast U.S. as agent of global instability at military forum. Apple officially unveils M3, M3 Pro, and M3 Max, 3nm, dynamic caching GPU. Apple announces new 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro, M3 chip, space black, cheaper $1,599 starting price. Western Digital is spinning off its flash memory business as sales decline.